an attempt to belittle Ambedkar. In the book, Ambedkar is described as close to the British. Questions raised on Ambedkar's role in the freedom struggle. Once again, the architect of the Indian constitutions, Dr. B.R Ambedkar, is in the news. This time, Baba Saheb is in the news for the statement of Union Home Minister Amit Shah, in which he is heard saying that these days it has become fashion to say Ambedkar, Ambedkar in everything. Whereas if God's name has been taken this much, then salvation would have been achieved. If we look at history, then Amit Shah is not only one among those who underestimate Baba Saheb's glory, but many such faces will be found in the Bharatiya Janata Party and Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, who have been belittling Baba Saheb's personality and work from time to time. Among them, former Union Minister and controversial journalist Arun Shourie is also included. Arun Shourie wrote a controversial book to belittle Baba Saheb's worshipping of false god. In this book, the author has made some explosive allegations against Dr. Ambedkar. Arun Shourie begins the book by saying that Dr. Ambedkar never fought for Indian independence. His public life of nearly a quarter of a century during the most crucial years of our freedom movement shows no evidence of him speaking against the British. He was an active member of the British governance machinery, and his years before independence marked by his support of the colonial government and sometimes strong criticisms of Indian leaders. His stances on India's caste system, most clearly mentioned in his book Annihilation of Caste, was a rehearsed of colonial and missionary argument against the upper caste. The Sudras having always been exploited by the upper caste, he made the British believe that he was the only representatives of the Harijans, just as Jinnah was for the Muslims. However, despite his constant instance to make his association the sole representative of the depressed classes, the British consistently refused. The Muslims voted for Jinnah's Muslim League by a landslide just before independence, which was almost a referendum for Pakistan. However, Dr. Ambedkar never won any election. His party lost badly to the Congress even in Harijan's constituencies. Arun Shourie, a man of a little faith in God, says that for Dr. Ambedkar, Hinduism was only for the suppression and oppression of the weak and the slaves. He believed that the anti-Semitic attitude of the Nazis against the Jews was no different in ideology and effects from the Sanatan Dharma of the Hindus against the untouchables. In his writing and speeches, Ambedkar several times told the British officer that the untouchables had always been loyal to the British and were in fact responsible for winning the war for them. The scheduled castes were apparently the first sources of manpower for the East India Company, and it was with his help that no British conquered India. This was controversial claims. Arun Shourie says in his book that Dr. Ambedkar played a unique role during the Quit India movement. When most of the Indian Congress leaders were in jail on 20 July 1942, a few weeks before the start of the movement, the British government in India appointed Ambedkar as the Minister of Labour in the cabinet. He was officially on the side of the British. This was a long-awaited appointment. When a desperate Dr. Ambedkar started making noise and being dissatisfied. For this, Arun Shourie referred to a letter written by government to the Victory, which mentioned Dr. Ambedkar's desperation to join the government and states, "I have no reason to believe that he is unable to repay the money of some people who had helped him in the past and he is unable to return it." Arun Shourie states that British communication records clearly shows how youth leaders like C.P. Ramaswamy Iyer, Ambedkar, Aga Khan and Jinnah to denounce Gandhi. These members were fully aware of what rulers thought of the Congress and the nationalist movement, and they also knew that a confrontation was imminent over the Quit India movement. However, these leaders chose to side with the government. The Quit India movement of 1942 was defining movement in the independence movement. The British then arrested the Congress leaders and Gandhi was imprisoned for about 20 months. The victory, Churchill and the Cabinet Council shows brutality in oppressing the Indian masses. According to Nehru, 10,000 people died as a result of these atrocities. In 1943, Bengal also faced one of the worst famines in the century's history, where at least 1.5 million people died as a direct result of the decisions of Churchill and his war cabinet. There was never a word of condemnation from Dr. Ambedkar or any attempt to bring relief to famine-stricken Bengal. In 1943, Gandhi went on a 21-day hunger strike in jail and nearly died. The country was shaken, but Dr. Ambedkar stood firmly with the British government. The cabinet and Churchill wanted Gandhi to die. Only two Indians did not waver in their support of the British. One Ambedkar and other Feroz Khan. The first was awarded the Bharat Ratna and the second was Padma Vibhushan. Bureau Politics Plus.